How did a young Macedonian king, barely out of his teens, conquer half the known world before his 33rd birthday? This is the story of Alexander the Great. His legend was built on the foundations laid by his father, Philip II of Macedon, who transformed a weak kingdom into a military powerhouse. Philip revolutionized the Greek phalanx, creating a professional army loyal only to the king. Alexander inherited this force, disciplined, battle-hardened, and hungry for glory. At just 20, after his father's assassination, many doubted Alexander's ability to rule. They were wrong. He perfected the army, infusing it with his own energy, strategic brilliance, and charisma. His men followed him out of devotion, believing in his promise of eternal fame. The Persian Empire, vast and seemingly invincible, stood in his path. To the Greeks, Persia was the ultimate enemy. Conquering it was unthinkable. Yet Alexander set out with fewer than 50,000 men to challenge an empire of millions. It was an audacious gamble that would change history. Alexander didn't just inherit an army, he forged an unstoppable force. The world would never be the same. At the heart of Alexander's army was the Macedonian phalanx, armed with the sarissa, a pike twice as long as the Greek spear. In tight formation, the phalanx became an impenetrable wall of spear points. But Alexander's genius was in combining arms, infantry, cavalry, engineers, and even naval power. The phalanx pinned the enemy. His elite cavalry, the hammer, delivered the decisive blow. Engineers built siege towers and catapults, allowing him to take even the strongest cities. His navy secured supply lines and supported land operations. This integration made his army adaptable, able to fight on plains, in mountains, or at sea. Whether storming Tyre or battling in Mesopotamia, Alexander's forces always had the answer. His army's flexibility made it unpredictable and terrifying to his enemies. No one knew where or how the next blow would fall. Alexander's revolution in warfare set a new standard for military power. The ancient world had never seen anything like it. An army is only as good as its commander, and Alexander's mind was his greatest weapon. He planned meticulously, but could adapt instantly, reading the battlefield and exploiting weaknesses with speed. At Gaugamela, outnumbered 5-1, he drew the Persian cavalry out of position, then led his Companion Cavalry in a devastating charge at the Persian center. Darius fled, and the Persian army collapsed. Alexander's tactics turned disadvantages into victory, shattering enemy morale. At the Hypaspists, he crossed a river in a storm to surprise an Indian army with war elephants, striking from an unexpected direction. Again and again, he outthought and outmaneuvered his foes. He didn't just win battles, he broke the will of his enemies. His genius was in using discipline, deception, and timing to create and exploit opportunities. Alexander's battlefield brilliance made him nearly invincible. His enemies never knew what he would do next. The keenest weapon in his arsenal was always his mind. That's what made him great. No leader wins alone. Alexander's inner circle, lifelong friends and brilliant commanders, executed his vision. The elite Companion Cavalry, led by Alexander himself, were the army's hammer, charging into the thick of battle. The Hypaspists, agile shield-bearers, linked the phalanx and cavalry, adapting to any challenge. Alexander led from the front, sharing danger and hardship with his men. Promotion was based on merit, not birth. Any soldier could rise through bravery. He rewarded courage, knew his veterans by name, and honored their scars. This created a powerful sense of brotherhood and shared purpose. His men followed him not just for glory but out of loyalty and respect. The army became a true brotherhood, united by trust and ambition. Alexander's leadership inspired devotion and courage. His army fought as one, unstoppable in battle. That unity was his greatest strength. An army marches on its stomach, and Alexander's logistics were as innovative as his tactics. He streamlined his supply chain, traveling light and fast, outpacing his enemies. Naval fleets transported supplies. Foraging parties gathered resources systematically. Scouts and spies mapped terrain, found water, and assessed enemy strength. Intelligence shaped every campaign, from river crossings to desert marches. Alexander didn't just conquer, he secured his gains. He founded cities, often named Alexandria, as administrative and military hubs. These outposts projected power, secured supply lines, and spread Greek culture. Loyal veterans and colonists garrisoned new territories, preventing rebellion. Alexander built an empire, not just a string of victories. His system of logistics, intelligence, and settlement ensured lasting control. The result? A network of power stretching from Greece to India. This was how he turned conquest into empire. Alexander's ambition went beyond conquest. He dreamed of a unified world. He sought to blend Greek and Persian cultures, ruling as a legitimate successor, not just a conqueror. He adopted Persian customs, encouraged intermarriage, and staged the mass wedding at Susa. He integrated Persian soldiers into his army, training them in Macedonian tactics. His goal, a multi-ethnic empire loyal to him alone. This vision shocked his Macedonian followers, but it was a bold attempt at unity. Alexander's sudden death ended his dream, but the legacy endured. The cities he founded became centers of Hellenistic culture, spreading Greek ideas across the East. His military innovations combined arms, logistics, leadership became the blueprint for future commanders. Alexander proved that true power lies in vision, adaptability, and unity. His empire fractured, but his influence shaped history. The world he left behind was forever changed. Alexander's legend endures not just for what he conquered, but for what he imagined.